Alrighty, so starting off the video here with a little clip of salsa, but this video is going to be talked about, as you guys see in the title, getting scammed on eBay. And I know I did include a little bit of a portion of this kind of talk in one of my recent trash picking videos. At the end, I had a lot of comments saying, you know, they really want to hear this story on what happened with eBay and thinking about possibly quitting eBay over this. So I will start off and say that the case is not closed. It's been something that's been ongoing, but it's kind of something that's really been bothering me. And one thing that I've noticed with eBay, personally, like selling on eBay, how big of a problem it's been with this whole scamming thing. And I'll give you a little bit of background on my history of eBay. I've been selling since high school. Probably about, 13, 15 years I've been selling on eBay. I haven't really dealt a lot with scams, and every single time I do get scammed, it's always some sort of new thing out there. But maybe you guys can listen here and maybe learn a little or take some of this information and help further and help protect yourself in your own eBay business, or if you're thinking about doing a little bit of a side gig for someone, just try to take a little bit of some of this information we've been providing with you with here shortly. So just giving a little background on the whole situation. I had a friend who wanted to sell something on eBay, and anyone out there who's been in the eBay business knows that if you do sell on eBay, you're probably going to have a friend or family member contact you and say, hey, I have such and such, what is it worth? And then the follow-up question is, hey, can you sell it for me and I'll give you a cut? Now, one thing I'll definitely start off with is I stopped doing commissions for people 5-6 years ago. It was way too much of a hassle, there's way too much risk, and this exact reason is why I absolutely hate selling for people. Now, there's a lot more that goes into it other than just photographing, listing, shipping, whatever. You have to factor in your time that you invest in this. You also have to factor in if you are paying taxes, because this is a taxable thing and it's income tax. How are you going to write off that you gave your friend or your family member 50% when you're showing eBay you sold this item for X amount? They think that you made X amount. So there's so many different things of why I just say stay away from doing commission for people, but this is the main reason. All right, you can get scammed, and you can kind of learn from this and maybe take away something that you might have done differently or something that you might agree with. But here's the thing. I took a processor, I call it a processor card because it looks like just a little card. I'll include a little clip of what they look like right here, or a picture right there, of what it looks like. It's a processor for your computer, right? My friend upgraded their computer. They had this processor. They're like, all right, I'm done with it. I just want a new one. I want something faster. I do gaming. So they wanted to update their computer. Perfectly fine. You give me a processor that works. I know it works because you say, hey, look, it works. I just want to update it or upgrade it. I know that you do this kind of stuff, so I assume that it does work. I put the item on eBay. It sells within 5 hours. The buyer receives it. I ship it priority mail because everything's kind of crazy right now. It could go first class because it only weighs like 2 ounces, but I ship it priority mail in a flat rate box, so it's extra protected, so it can't get damaged in shipping. Seeing that priority mail seems to be going a little bit quicker and arriving sooner and arriving on time as opposed to first class with everything going on. So I send it, they receive it 2 days later after it's sold, right? They do not respond for an entire week and a half. At a week and a half, I'm just like, all right, they received it, it's good. I mean, how long do I have to wait for this person to leave feedback, considering that some people don't even leave feedback on their eBay items? So here's the issue that I have with commissions in general is, when do you pay the person who you sold this item? When do you pay them, right? Do you pay them after you receive feedback? Well, what happens if you never receive feedback? Do you pay them 3 days after they receive the item? Do you pay them 5 days, a week, 2 weeks? What happens if the item sits for 2 months? When do you ever give the person their money? That's a huge issue. So I end up giving the person their money about a week and a half after they receive the item, right? And literally the next day, without even 24 hours, after a week and a half, literally the next day, the person who received this item says it does not work. Mind you, when I shipped out this item, it seemed kind of sketchy in the beginning because The name was all just a bunch of random letters. It wasn't really like the right letters. It could have been a name, but, you know, it just didn't look right. And then the house number seemed like it was like a shipping dock, so it was just like really off to begin with. But anyway, I shipped it out. They received a week and a half, whatever. I ended up paying my friend the money that they are, you know, they expect to get from this. I took a little cut. It wasn't much. I took like $10, $15 out of, you know, the whole process after fees, shipping, you know, a handling charge. I made like 15 bucks, so it wasn't much. I gave them $80. And what happened was the person who received the item said that it just didn't work. And it was all like in broken English, but it seemed like whatever. It might work, it might not work. They said something about it spun the fan didn't start, the processor, it read it, but it didn't read it. Please accept return. I personally do not do returns or refunds on eBay because I want to avoid these kind of scams the best way I can. eBay, however, seems to say, screw you, you still have to do these returns and you still have to refund people money. So by doing these no returns, no refunds, I get a higher percentage bracket of fees. You get a certain discount if you accept returns or refunds. I don't know what it is. It might be like 3% or 5%. But I am paying eBay more money by not accepting these returns or refunds with the intention that, hey, look, no one can return or refund anything. Anyway, I accept the return. They send it back 5 days later. I kid you not. I kid you not. This is what they send back. A package. In the package, I thought, hey, look, they probably put the processor card in here. I open it up, and what we got, we screen protectors for like an iPhone 6. iPhone says 6P, 7P, 8P. Some made in China junk that they probably bought out of some shipping factory. And you know what makes it worse? This package didn't even come from them. This came from Hackettstown, New Jersey. The package I sent out went to Delaware. People might not be familiar with the United States. They're not the same state. In some places, it'd be like somebody shipping you something from a different country. They sent me something that they bought on eBay, and when they said, put in your tracking info for your return, eBay said, hey, look, you want to put in your tracking info for your return so we can track it? They put the tracking info that they bought some piece of junk on eBay for like $5 or $6, and that was the tracking info on the return. So when it showed up to my house, guess what? It said that the return was complete. They returned the item. But instead of sending the processor card, I got a box of screen protectors. So I was scammed. I have 100 and, I don't know how many, 30 bucks, 140 bucks, 150 bucks, I can't remember. But I was scammed. So I opened up a case with eBay. They said you have to prove that, you know, the item was not actually the processor card that they returned. And I was like, hey, look, this package is for me. The tracking number is from some other place, but it's a tracking number on a return, but it's clearly a purchase. It's not even from the same town. It's not even from the same state. So I've been scammed on eBay. Now I have to go through this whole process with eBay to show that, hey, look, this is wrong. This is an issue of eBay. So now, if I don't get my money back from eBay, what happens? I just gave my friend 80 bucks. If the buyer gets back their money, I lose out on $80. I lose out on return shipping. I lose out on the shipping that I sent to them. And I lose out on fees. So I'm out like 100 bucks. So this is the issue of doing commissions, is that if you're in my situation, what do you tell your friend? Do you say, hey, look, I want my 80 bucks back and this is yours? He's going to be like, no, I want my processor back that you sold for $100-something. I don't want screen protectors. I'm not giving back your 80 bucks because this is not worth $80. So you run into that issue. My best suggestion in the future is just never sell for anyone because this exact situation can pop up. Right? What do? Do you ask for your money back? Do you do this? Do you do that? Do you lose a friend? You know, I'm out $100 if eBay doesn't side with me. So yes, getting scammed on eBay does suck, and I do think that eBay is going to side with me, but at the same time, I wish this kind of stuff wouldn't happen. I wish there'd be more seriousness put on buyers who do this kind of scam, And I wish there'd be some way that eBay would help protect sellers in a better way. And I know a lot of people, might be like, well, you're a YouTuber, this, that, you have a platform, you're going to win your case because otherwise eBay is going to, get all this negative feedback and all this, because I see it happen with other YouTubers when they get all fired up and rowdy, they always get their way. But tell you what, I don't link my eBay store to my page. I don't link my eBay store on YouTube at all. eBay doesn't even know my YouTube name because it's not the same as my YouTube name. So I am just like one of you with this. I'm just your average seller. I'll get back to you with what happens, right? I do not use my platform for anything. If you guys follow me on Instagram at taco_stacks, you'd see I don't complain to companies about how their business is bad or this person does this. I don't exploit anyone. I don't use my platform for anything. I just simply try to keep it real, try to keep it normal, but at the end of the day, eBay has to figure it out. You can't just let people do this. The person had a decent feedback, but, I looked at the feedback they left for everyone. Every single feedback was the exact same copy and paste thing, all right? It just mind boggles me in some sort of way that, people still do these scams, but that's what happens. So if you guys are curious about selling on eBay, you're thinking about doing this kind of stuff, just realize that you really want to document everything you sell. If you get a return like this, before you open it, all right, try to video it. That would definitely help. Obviously, you can kind of, fib it in some sort of way, but being pretty real with the whole situation, honesty goes a far way, and that's just the way it is. It's kind of unfortunate in a way, but there's no way that you could sit there and be like, well, maybe they probably put the tracking number in the wrong way. But at the end of the day, that's the cost of doing business. That's the cost of doing business on eBay in general, or any large market or online market, is you're going to always deal with people who want to take advantage of you and take advantage of the system. So just be aware of that. If you're trying to get into eBay, just consider these kind of options. Consider what might happen. If you're considering doing commission for someone, consider what might happen as well, and try to protect yourself in the best possible way, because you never want to lose a friendship or relationship or reputation over anything, over anything like this. So it's very, very difficult in some way, but at the end of the day, it all works its way out. And hopefully, if this is something you're into, you might learn from it. I think eBay will side with me, but we'll see. That's going to wrap it up here for today's video. Getting scammed on eBay, and I'll let you know the outcome, what happens in the future. And well, till next time, have a great day. Keep living a dream. Peace.